Cowman, the first question we like to ask in our interviews is, when I say the word Tevis, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Horses.
So, with our interview, we're talking about Tevis, but you and your reputation around the world is more than just the Tevis Cup. But one of the things that you have a claim to fame of is one of the first people that ever ran the Western States 100-mile run, back when it was still Tevis and runners participated in it. What year was that?
Okay, as a lot of people know, Gordy Ainslie, or now Dr. Harry Gordy Ainslie, was the first person, 1974, ran with the horses. And then a guy named Ron Kelly was the second person to try the run with the horses. For whatever reason, he dropped out about 2 miles or from around No Hands Bridge. Being around the Tevis some and knowing Gordy Ainslie through riding ties, I said, I know I'm just as good a runner as Gordy, so I'm going to run it. And then I showed up at Squaw Valley, met Wendell Roby and Drusille Barner and whoever else, Dr. Barcelow, all those great people, and put out, liquid with the horse people. And away I went early in the morning in Squaw Valley. But the thing was, had a season pass at Squaw Valley, and so I knew only from the summit to the lodge. That's the only part of the trail I've ever been on, and that's not very much. It's only about 3 miles.
Right.
But to me, I do things because they're exciting. You don't know what's going to happen, the adventure of it, and running alongside several hundred horses or whatever, to me, that's an adventure.
How many other runners were there that year?
I was the only runner.
You were the only runner.
And I knew a lot of the riders, though. I felt very much at home. I've run with horses in the ride and tie for
so
years.
you've done ride and tie prior to that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so...
Tahoe City, July 4th, high noon. First time I ever wore the horns.
Right.
And then I saw the excitement and, fun it brought to other people. And I said, well, I guess I have some tradition starting here. And then I wore the horns every time I got a chance after that.
And so I remember you, because I grew up with ride and tie.
Right.
As just this mountain of a man, wearing his bullhorns, running. This character. And as a kid, it was just mesmerizing. It was like a character out of a comic book.
Right.
In the very early days, you've always been very conscious of diet and the importance of food. So one of my questions is, in your lifetime, how many peanut butter sandwiches do you think you've eaten?
Probably thousands. But I've learned through the years. I don't eat peanut butter hardly anymore.
No?
No, it's almond butter.
It's almond butter, okay.
Or if there's something even better than almond butter, I'll eat it. It's one of my trips is, it's better to pay more, it's better to eat less, but have better quantity, or not quantity, but have better quality. Yeah, same as my friends. I'd rather have fewer friends, but quality friends, than trying to be known by the world. As soon as I got out of the National Guard Army after a 6-year obligation, I said, after 3 years, college, whatever, but I want to become a ski bum or a skier, full-time skier. So no obligation, went to Lake Tahoe, North Shore, got a ski pass. But from that point on, I became, from cowboy, nicknamed cowboy, to cowman because of mountain man.
Right. And
I let my hair grow, beard grow, and just free-spirited. I didn't have to worry about shaving every morning.
Well, I think it's time, Cowman.
To become horny?
To get horny.
I've been there. No.
Would you be willing to put your horns on for this interview, for the rest of this interview?
Sure. These horns represent the American Indian, the buffalo, and somebody to be able to carry them and have the spirit of love. And also, what I was getting at is I never had to use my horns on anybody, ever. The beauty of each sunrise, especially atop of Immigrant or where Watson Monument is, if I'm not riding, I want to be there and I want to photo the beauty of the horses and the riders and the sunrise. And But that's only one spot. I mean, like the day before, Window Horse Park. I mean, that's a beautiful area. And just the energy from all the riders and the horses and just, so much happening there. I talked to a lady who owns a newspaper in Truckee, and that's only a couple miles away. She didn't even know there was a Tevis. Yeah. So I'm saying if we don't put the word out or share the love in our experiences and what we're experiencing and why we love it so much, they might not ever know. But thank goodness to the new age or computer or whatever photo, that maybe someday the whole world will get to experience it either on a DVD or a movie or whatever, or in person, whatever.
So I do have to ask you a question about the horns as far as the babes you must have gotten over the last 30 years. The babes, the women.
Oh, babes. Babes. Yeah, when I'd walk in or go anywhere, actually, people are always curious more than anything. Mm-hmm. And, I like playing the role sometime. I mean, like, yeah, I used to be cow baby, and then I cowboy, and then, I earned my rights from mountain man to take the title of cowman. And it was self-given. Like some people say, your mother wouldn't give you a name like that. And I said, well, you're totally right. My mother wouldn't give me a name like Cowman. But anyhow, I use Cowman because it works. I have a story to share how I got there. Mm-hmm. And where I'm totally going, around the next corner or the next whatever, time will tell. And that's what makes it interesting, because we don't know always what's around the next corner or the next bend. Or, I'm going back to Hawaii Friday. And this race, Ironman Triathlon, it's a world championships. The best athletes in swim, bike, run are going to be there, and I'm going to be there because I feel I'm one of the best for my age and my size. And, I don't want to be excluded, even though sometimes politic-wise they like to exclude people for whatever reasons. My presence is always really cherished by people around the world who have seen me previous or heard about me or whatever. And I'm there for them, not just myself. It never has been all about myself. It's been about, locals, they call them wherever you're at. Like, used to be Truckee or the lake or whatever, or never lived in Auburn, but, I've been to Auburn, and I feel like this is part of my home too.
So if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
Just to be sure everybody had plenty to eat and had shelter, and maybe had the chance to enjoy any of the thrills and thrills I've had during my lifetime.
If you had a sidekick, what would his name be?
How about Buddy?
Buddy? Not Calf Boy or nothing like that? No?
No, I maybe would even have to think about that one.
Okay.
But
Might
no,
have to work on that, because you may have to have a sidekick eventually one day, because every superhero has to have a sidekick.
Well, there's Cowman, and it could be, people say, well, cow is female, but...
Well, that was what I was going to ask you, because it sounds like an oxymoron.
Bovine man?
It sounds like an oxymoron to me. Cowman.
It's what?
Cowman might be an oxymoron. Is it or not?
I can't answer that.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to say, in all my travels, not just with Tevis and in Western States Run, but people have always asked me, where's your home? I see you around, the world doing different sports. And sometimes you don't have time because you're on the go. And to say, well, yeah, I was born here, and then I moved there after so many years, and then I ended up in Tahoe, and then I went to Hawaii, and then, just the kind of Cowman mentality is, like I said, well, how about planet Earth? Will that work? Where do you live? Planet Earth. We all breathe the same air. We swim the same seas. So why not all of us humans, be like Ohana in Hawaii, they call it. Ohana is family.
Okay. I
mean, like we're Tevis family, Western States Runner family, and other family, whatever, but we're all humans. And to me, I like to think, man, this is my home, and wherever I go, like a cowboy on a horse, never knowing, as you say, where they're going to be tomorrow night or tomorrow day or whatever, and lay their hat.
You've lived your life that way.
Yeah, I have, ever since I left where I grew up.
Yeah.
My folks' El Rancho, I mean, as soon as I left the property, I said, well, I'm on my adventure now. I mean,
And quite an adventure it has been, huh?
it has been, and I've been enjoying, that's why I bring paper articles when I travel or photographs so I can share with people who have no clue. I mean, they might have little clue, but pretty much no clue. But I like to share with them. I'm really proud and happy to share with all of you, you know, the great folks of Auburn area.
What's your favorite spot on the Tevis Trail? Is there one place that you get to when you...
There's two.
Okay.
Besides the finish line. Besides the finish line.
A deep breath and just go, this is the most beautiful place in the world.
Besides the finish line.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. One of my favorite areas is Watson Monument area. Because when you get to there, you're pretty much top of the world. And the view you have. Some people ride right over top of that mountain because they're so anxious to get to Auburn. I saw one or three gals riding together kind of further back in the pack of the Tevis ride this year. No, wait, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Because they didn't go over Watson this year. Too much snow.
Right.
Okay, 2 years ago. I was up there taking photos with my horns on. These three ladies went around Watson Monument about 2 or 3 times with their horses. And I was talking to them as they were doing it, and they're yippee yay, and like 3 gals on a fun ride. And they would look at the lake, and they would look at the sun coming up 3 times, making the circles around, and then they headed down the hill, and they disappeared. But I do that all the time. You know, I'm looking at the sunrise, looking at the lake. I know how beautiful the lake is. Of course, from that point on, the lucky riders who are seeing it firsthand, a new day, a new view, a new experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the second place is Cougar Rock is pretty special. A lot of people don't really know what Cougar Rock, you know, what it stands for, or, you know, but there's different artists that have been there because they use that as a focal point.
Yes.
A lot of passing riders or runners. A few horses have lost it there, and you know, it's sad, but it's a very difficult spot of the trail. You know, you can go around, I guess, Cougar Rock, or you can go over to the rock. But to me, just because of the notoriety and history of that point, besides, you know, top of Immigrant Watson Monument, what, you know, all the trailblazers before, you know, have done for all the Tevis riders today.
So
Yeah,
those are your 2 favorite spots, and they're great spots.
well, the
They're
river,
beautiful.
the swinging bridge.
Yeah, it's
You know, I mean,
nice.
it's a shame that it burned in the big fire, but the swinging bridge, also that river, when you look down and see the clarity of it and the trees, it's like an arbor around you, and that's another spot. But there are hundreds of those spots. I mean, really.
Well, Ken, Cowman, thank you
Muha
so
Shirk.
much for doing this interview with us. It was a real honor to sit here with you and get to ask you questions and get to know you better. And,
I know what you're getting at.
Where am
I know what you're getting at. You want something I have on.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
How about if I exchange seats with
admiring
you?
Okay, because I've been admiring those horns for a long time, I have to say.
You know, people in Hawaii, when they see me, if I don't have these horns on, they just put 2 fingers up by their head.
Oh, there you go. That's the symbol. That means
That's the horn, but I'd like to take them off and.
Yeah. Wow.
Is it okay?
See, you can take them off. I wasn't sure if you let anybody else wear these.
There you go.
This would be a pretty special thing to be able to do. All right.
Cowman Jr.
There you go. Can I be your sidekick, your superhero sidekick? They're heavy. All right.
Peace.
We did it.
Peace.
Peace.
Hang loose. Can't do better than that.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.